What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Garage 13. I'm Dylan, and today behind the camera is Kevin. Today we're going to be working on the RB25 transmission. I got a few things I need to get taken care of before I can do the clutch install and get it back on the engine. I'm going to be doing a new slave cylinder, transmission mount, and a throwout bearing. So let's get started. These are some of the parts we're going to be installing today. This is the old transmission mount, the original OEM one, and this is the transmission mount adapter for the S13 platform because the previous owner had the engine installed on the S13. So I'm going to be replacing that just because I have a new one, and I ordered the hardened mount so it's a little bit sturdier. Right here we have the new throwout bearing. We'll be pressing this one out and pressing this one in. And this is the new slave cylinder, which is the 2005 Maxima, which is cross-compatible with the RB25. So these are the two transmission mounts, the OEM version right here, and this is a aftermarket hardened version. This is the KA transmission mount, so it is cross-compatible with the two. The only difference really is you can see the cross section through the middle. I guess that adds some rigidity. And I got it for about 40 bucks including the engine mounts.
You just have to show it like right here. Yeah, that's good.
So after getting that first hole drilled and it being more work than I anticipated, I think I'm just gonna roll with the old transmission mount that he had used and drilled up before, just so I don't have to do that extra work. So that's what you get when you buy eBay parts. Behind the frame.
Barely.
Ah! So we're going to be replacing the clutch throwout bearing, and to use that I'm going to be using a puller and a socket. So we got the bearing out, just going to clean it up, grease it up, and then push the new one on. Alright, I'm going to use a little block of wood, hammer just to tap it in, and then I think I'll just use the vise to press it in the rest of the way. Oh shit. So we got it pressed in now. I think it's good. I guess we'll find out later. And that's pretty much all it is. Now we're gonna install the throwout bearing onto the clutch fork. So how this goes on is it sits on the pivot ball in the transmission right here and feeds through the transmission where the slave cylinder pushes it right here. So when installing it, you're going to want to push the pivot ball through this clip right here, and you're going to want to make sure that this stays in its little slots right there. You can see how it stays in place. And then this piece will slide onto your throwout bearing assembly, kind of like this. And you're going to want to grease the inside of this before you install that. You don't want to place this on the pivot ball yet because you want to get this part clipped in, and then you'll clip that other part in. So you're just going to slide this in part of the way, get it lined up, and then you can push the clutch fork onto the assembly and then pop it onto the pivot ball. And then you want to check the other points, make sure that they're properly installed. It's all installed. That's kind of how it works. And now we're going to get that slave cylinder installed. So we're all ready for our next step, which will be the clutch replacement. I was doing a mock-up for the slave cylinder just to see if it would go on properly, and I noticed that the bolt wasn't going in all the way. So I took it out and inspected the threads, and it looked like they had been stripped a little bit. So I'm just taking my tap, I'm just trying to get the threads back to what they're supposed to be so I can get that installed. Alright guys, so we got that slave cylinder installed now. I am not fully confident that I want to leave it like this. Fortunately, I didn't have much of a choice since those threads were messed up. I might get like a thread insert so I don't have to use this big ass bolt. I'll decide that on a later date. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out our other videos. Leave a comment and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace out, guys.